Yes, I'm looking to adopt a cat. Maybe two, so they can have a friend," said the female avian in front of me. I blinked. Okay. Did you speak to a pet guide at the front about what pet might best suit you? Oh yes, she told me where to find this section. I already knew I wanted a cat. I've seen videos online. Do you recall the name of the pet guide? No. Sorry, it was a human name, but they had very long brown hair. The woman cocked her head. Is there a problem? Ashley, I swear, if she doesn't start doing her job. Sort of. I'm not sure a cat is the best pet for you because of your species. The feathers on the top of her head and down the back flared like a cockatoo's would, clearly indignant. Excuse me? Just because this store is run by humans doesn't mean you can be racist. That's not it at all, I assured her. To be honest, your feathers are absolutely beautiful. Humans on Earth have decorated themselves with feathers for years, and there are cultures whose religious ceremonies involve incredible headdresses, completely made of them. And it was true. The feather she had in place of a human's hair slid a gorgeous gradient of red near her forehead, through purple and down the blue in the back. Purple feathers also flared gently down the sides of her neck. Gradually, the flared feathers on her crest lowered as she took in what I said. Then what's the problem? Cats love playing with feathers. They would think your head is decorated with toys. I motioned to a shelf a dozen feet away that held toys, a few of them with bundles of feathers. She looked at them and then looked back, staring at me, blinking. That's ridiculous. Why do they like feathers? They evolved on Earth and often catch birds, are flying animals. Cats can fly! She shrieked. Laughter burst out of me, and I quickly smothered it into coughing, clearing my throat. No, of course not, but they can jump, they're fast, and they're excellent hunters. Taking a few steps around me to look at one of the cat rooms, she folded her prim, sleek arms in a startlingly human motion. I noticed several of the cats eyeing her plumage curiously already. But I will be its owner. It would realize I'm not a toy, surely. My cats attack my feet sometimes, just because they move. She stared at me some more in disbelief. I let out a breath and went into the cat room, through the foyer gap, to prevent escapes, closing each door behind me. Cat toys were everywhere, and as two cats twined their way around my ankles, I picked up 2 bundles of feathers. Putting them on my head, I walked over to one of the cat trees. I stood in front of it, as 2 cats on one of the highest shelves stared at the toys, eyes dilating. Then I moved to the left, and one of them jumped, grabbing the toys and flinging them off my head. I flinched as I felt claws flail against my hair. Once I'd run my fingers through my hair to straighten it, and turned around, I saw the woman already rapidly making her way back, towards the front of the store. Dad said I could get one if I took care of it. I stood outside room 1 with a wide-eyed young girl and her parent, Shaz and Mashil, 2 reptilians eager to meet some kitties. Boy, did the government pull out all the stops to get humans to call them anything else, but that was about as hopeless as you'd imagine. Mashil wasn't male or female. Their species only specialized in one or the other when it was time to make babies. Only the youngsters assigned themselves gender, in a curious exploration of gender roles. Honestly, he sort of flared and said, "Fine," and changed the subject, Mashil told me. I assumed flared meant the flaring of the umbrella of skin around their heads, likely used to scare predators in early days. But we've been coupled for 10 years and I know them. A week from now they'll be sitting in the living room patting the soft warm cat sitting on their lap. I smiled. Sounds quite similar to a cliché about human fathers, I told her. So, what exactly are you looking for? Any cat that we just match with, Mashil answered. A little playful, for Shaz. Not too shy or too high-strung. Colouring doesn't really matter. All right then. The best way to do that is to spend time with them, so we'll start with room 1. I led the way to the door, opening it and holding it politely. Michelle took a few steps and realised Shaz was still staring at the cat through the glass wall. Shaz? I'm nervous, she said, the skin around her neck fluttering. You weren't before. Why are you suddenly nervous? I let the door close and walked over. Is it the teeth and claws? Shaz nodded. I'm surprised. You've got superpowers. What? No, I don't, she told me skeptically, shaking her head. You do when compared to me. I rolled up my sleeves and showed her my arms, which were often uncovered when I was at home playing with my cats, and they released the murder mittens. Oh my gosh, Shaz exclaimed. Her eyes darted to mine. Did that hurt? Yeah, a little, I admitted. But my cats are pretty cute, so I tend not to hold it against them. I rolled the sleeves back down. You've got super skin compared to me. They'll practically be playing with another cat. That's how they don't hurt each other. They've got so much floof. And besides, they don't try to hurt you. They play, and sometimes they get overexcited. Okay. You know, if you get startled, they'll probably be scared of you if you flare, I told her. Humans don't do that, so the cats will be really surprised and run away. Can you help them be brave and make sure you don't flare too big if you're nervous? Ah, Shaz nodded. Yeah, I'll make sure I don't flare real big. All right. I motioned toward the door and walked over, opening it again, letting both child and parent inside. Michelle nodded once to me, presumably in thanks. Then I opened the second door, and we walked in. After the usual suspects came to greet me, we walked over to a bench and sat down. A tabby walked over to Shaz and sniffed her leg, and then headbutted it, giving it a full body rub as he walked past. Oh my gosh, Shaz whispered. It's so soft. That's Henry. You can pat him if you want. Shaz leaned down slowly and lowered her hand to pat his head. Her eyes widened in wonder. I think this one likes me, she said, her voice still quiet. I suppressed a grin. I think he does too, but we just got here. Time to settle in and see who else wants to meet you. All the colours are in together? Asked the Harklin, standing next to me, as we gazed in at room 2. Yep, do you like certain colours or appearances? I want a cat because my human neighbour has 3, and I love spending time with them, he told me. They're delightful. 2 of them are orange and 1 of them is black and white, but Gary said that 1 is an honorary orange cat. He looked over to me, my gaze. I like cats like that. Do you know what I mean? I looked down the hall in the direction of room 4. You know, I think I have a cat you'll really like.